What's up, guys? Wade Willis here for Wade's Weeb Reviews, here to break down episode 12 of Higurashi Sotsu. Right from the start, guys, not gonna lie, was not one of my favorite episodes of the season. A lot of it was rehashing things that we have already seen. Now, I would personally rather have had them do it this way than drag it across the final 4 episodes of the season. I would have actually been kind of pissed if they actually did it that way. Um, but they kind of. I keep thinking that they've gotten any new viewers up to speed with everything, and I had completely forgotten that they had not touched anything on Ray at all. And this episode really served as kind of a educating newer viewers on Ray, or maybe giving some of a refresher course on Hanyu's history and kind of why her bond with Rika is so deep. So that was fine. Again, I did not hate the episode. We've seen almost all of it before. And yeah, guys, before I go any further, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel for tons of When They Cry content. And yeah, coming out with a Higurashi skit video. I said Umineko in my reaction thing. It's actually Higurashi. It really deals with Sotsu and Go a lot. So I'm hoping to have that done today or tomorrow. We'll see. Now, back to episode 12. Yeah, really the biggest reveals in this were that Aua and Satoko actually saw that Hanyu was going to give Rika the sword that can kill loopers. And in finding this out, Satoko kind of goes back, steals the sword. When she steals it, though, she breaks part of the sword, and some of it stays in the thing, so she still is at risk. But I don't think she even realized that she did it. Actually, I know that she didn't realize it because she would have probably gone and grabbed the shard. So she also did almost like fatality herself with the sword, which would have been freaking hilarious. We know she didn't die that way, but it did cut her. Something that I think is worth noting with that, it did cut her, and apparently cutting someone doesn't take away their looping abilities, I believe. So that's something to be aware of. Now, if it cut her, did it like weaken her abilities at all? It doesn't seem like it. So if you use this sword, you're going to have to legit kill the person with the sword, not just like swipe at them. So that is something to be aware of. And to be honest, one of the coolest parts in the episode that I wanted to point out before I go into the final reveal was actually when Satoko was kind of like bobbing and weaving against MILF Sonozaki. And yes, I said MILF Sonozaki. That's what I call her. I don't know her actual first name, but she's hot as hell, and so she is MILF Sonozaki. And just seeing the evasiveness of Satoko, like we knew that she could shoot people, we knew that she was kind of fast, but that was incredibly impressive. And it makes me a bit nervous for Rika having like any sort of chance of defeating Satoko, but alas, we will see. And the final big reveal that we got, we started to see some cracks in the fragment world, and Hanyu appears. I personally thought it was going to be the good version of Satoko, because that was some of the imagery we saw when Satoko split. But it was Hanyu, and Hanyu kind of says like, "Oh, I've been searching all over for you," or "I finally found you," something like that. And then Aua says like something to the effect of, "Oh, my failed project." So this leaves a lot of things open for interpretation. Some people still think that Aua and Hanyu are the same person. I don't think so. I feel like maybe they could have been created from the same thing, but they are not the same. Hanyu may be like a partial clone of Aoa, something like that. I could see something like that where Aoa created Hanyu from her own like DNA or some magical thing, but Hanyu isn't being controlled by Aoa to our knowledge, and she doesn't think the same way as Aoa. So to me, she is different. Even if twins are identical, they have the same biological like DNA. Um, they're two different people. So, regardless, I don't think that they are the same. It appears that Hanyu is not being controlled by Aoa, at least right now. And um, someone commented about how Hanyu's like kind of horn was broken and Aoa's memory was messed up. Um, and they said that like that could be a sign that they're kind of similar. For me personally, I think that might be a sign that they've just fought each other. And in the opening, we see like a bloodied and battered Hanyu. I could see like if one of my theories is I could see that they are two like gods that have fought each other for like centuries across different timelines and things, and they kind of had different pawns and different wars and stuff like that. We may end up seeing something like that, and that they've battled against each other for a really long time. I feel like that is a very high likelihood. And it's kind of interesting. It seems like we're going to have a face-off between two gods and two witches. And guys, I'm pumped for it. I know I've talked about Satoshi a lot. I'm out on Satoshi being involved now. It's just there's not enough time for him to be involved in a meaningful way, in my opinion. I think it's more likely that we get a lot of battles in the fragment world and see some wild stuff happen with Rika and Satoko, and possibly Satoko battling herself. So I think all of that stuff is very likely. Satoshi coming in and like pulling a stunt. At this point, very unlikely. We haven't even seen him out of a coma. Yeah, I'm just very unsure of where they're going to go from here. I hope that they're setting up another season, because I don't feel comfortable with them ending all of this in 3 episodes and being like, all right, that's the end of Higurashi. That would be kind of crazy. And I still like Sots, but I would be a bit kind of perturbed that they did so much rehashing of things and showing us things that we've already seen, and then just ending this series very abruptly and kind of in a rushed way. Because it would seem a bit rushed if they ended it in 3 episodes. That's just me, but I'd love to hear what you guys thought about the episode and what you guys think is going to happen next. Let me know in the comments below.